what's happening, sports fans? It's C&B Talking Hockey back with another episode or podcast, whatever, radio show, whatever you want to call it.
We are here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's about all as we can say. Your Minnesota Wild are 3-5-3. Brady, how you feeling?
Not good.
Yeah, that's about as well as you can put it, I think.
I mean, they got points out of the 2 games. I think.
Of the 4. They
4.
did not win a game, technically. They didn't win a game.
0-1-2 or 0-2-2? I forget.
2-2. 0-2-2 over the week break between episodes.
As Cole was saying earlier, it's rough when you don't change the win column on the score sheet we have updated here. Yeah, it's not great.
No.
There are some positives, but a lot of negatives. So
mostly negatives.
Yeah.
The positives, you know what's bad when I look up positives through the Google machine, the AI, the only thing it spits out is 25th anniversary celebrations. It's not what I'm looking for.
Okay, well the AI isn't that good. I tried to look up captains traded and won the cup, and they gave me Wayne Gretzky as one of the examples.
Okay, well, it knows more than me apparently.
It knows puck.
It clearly knows puck. Anyway, should we start with a little contracts around the league?
Yeah, there's actually a few big ones that were signed this weekend. Thomas Harley, a defenseman for Dallas Stars, 8 by $10.587 million. A very specific number.
He wanted that much. It's like Crosby signed his 8.7. It's like, okay.
I guess he's trying to do that with the 8.7.
What number is he? Do you know?
I don't know.
I guess 8.7 at the end. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's just a weird number.
It is very.
Logan Cooley similarly signed an 8-year, $10 million flat though. I like the Cooley one a lot better than the Harley one.
I think that Cooley contract's gonna age very, very well for the Stars.
I agree. That's really the only movement. No major trades have happened. It's kind of late October, so.
Yeah, I doesn't really need to be any trades. Obviously, the Wild did actually send down. Michael Mulaney. I
don't know.
It doesn't really do. He didn't play even, but he didn't clear waivers. He cleared medical because he apparently was nursing an injury of some sort. Okay. That's what Russo was saying. But
tough but fair, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's not really much movement other than I do think that the Wild might pull up a youngin for the Foligno injury, and I think. Not Ben Jones. What's the other kid? Tyler Pitlick. I think he's going to get sent down. I'd like to see some movement of some sort.
Yeah. And I don't know. I want to see Ogren back, but if they don't think he's ready, I accept that. I just don't know who else we have. I think Abe Kubel is probably the next guy up from the AHL.
Yeah, I think he's a better replacement for a Foligno-type player. I think Ogren should get more time at the AHL level. He's been producing pretty well, and the Iowa Wild are not terrible all of a sudden. So...
I liked Greg Conan when they signed him for the AHL head coach job, but we'll see.
It's hard not to improve down there. Honestly, when you go from a 1 to a 2, it's like, okay, great, it's double the improvement, but it's really not that much better.
Yeah, as long as you don't start digging, that's really all that matters.
Honestly,
I guess we can go into
game recaps,
even though we probably don't want to.
No.
Wednesday game against the Devils, we actually did a good breakdown of this before we got off the air last time. Gus was the starter here. He actually had an above 900 save percentage. Still lost, though.
For letting up 3 goals, I still was pretty impressed. I mean, the Devils are kind of known to shoot, but that's still... I was impressed with Gus during this game. I was a little disappointed when our score prediction ended up not being right. You actually had 4-2 with the Wild winning. I had 4-2 them losing. So I was impressed with how close we were.
Yeah.
Obviously, going against a backup goalie there, kind of disappointing.
You think on a back-to-back you would have been able to get him, but it's a young New Jersey team, so I don't know.
We should be a young team.
Win games. Yeah. That's all,
Say what you want. You can have any excuse. Just win.
Gus started out pretty good, though, but the Wild didn't get a shot until the first 5 minutes into the first, so that's never good. They were pretty good looks when they did get shots, but still nothing, and then dominated by the Devils the rest of the period. And then Cotter sneaks one in past Gus. They're up 1-0 going into the second. Wild look a little bit better this period, but nothing to really go in either way. And then I think just kind of the third period kind of goes away. Yuritik takes the penalty. They score on the power play. And then Boldy gets the only goal for the Wild, but they end up losing 4-1 with an empty netter going to the Devils at the end there.
Yeah,
that 2, I forget. Do you remember?
Just one empty netter. It was the Boldy goal is actually pretty impressive. That is part of the reason I have him as high as I do on the Hot or Not list preview.
Not list, yeah.
But he just he gained his zone and he just decided he was gonna shoot it. A couple guys were screening or crossing over in front of the goalie, and Boldy just said he called his own number. Basically, that's the way they say it for football. That's really what happened there.
Yeah, I think he looked good. He's the only goal. Eck and Buyum get the assist. Buyum still climbing the rookie points ladder. I think he's 3rd or 4th right now.
I believe so. Yes.
It's been a rough couple weeks though.
He actually, I didn't write this one down obviously, so my dad's gonna laugh at me later. He always laughs when I do that. But he was tying or was matching the most points by a Wild defenseman. Period. In a certain amount of home games.
Wow.
It was either the most ever or was tying the record.
I don't know if I should be sad or impressed that the Wild haven't had someone that good, or be happy that we finally do. I don't know.
I'll agree to you. I just agree with that. My guess is he would be tying Faber or.
Yeah, Faber did have a pretty good rookie year. I think he had 59 points.
I believe you're correct with that.
Which was pretty good for a rookie. It was
especially a rookie not known to score.
Yeah, it was close to Kaprizov, but Kaprizov had 42 games or something like that.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, no real stats and note from the Devils game. They really just got kind of flat out beat, really, which was kind of sad. You thought you could take advantage of a Devil team, but it's a good Devils team.
It is a good team.
I think Jack Hughes ended up getting 1st or 2nd star of the week. So
that's actually a
shout out to the Russo tweet.
Yeah,
the Mammoth, Sharks, and Devils all had a top player of the week, and they all played the Wild, which is
some might call that a coincidence, but
I think not. League-wide conspiracy theory.
That's got to be.
Okay.
Clearly, we are counted as a Canadian team because
they hate us.
No, what's his name? The commissioner of the league hates us because he doesn't know that Minnesota is actually part of the U.S.
Gary Batman.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, moving on to the Mammoth.
You didn't have to just think it was that stupid. I don't know. It was dumb. It wasn't that dumb.
You're making the hand swooping movement is what got me. I don't know. Okay, moving on to the Mammoth game. This one went bad quickly. 3 very weird goals early. Cooley with a weird deflection out front gets one by Gus on the glove side. Power play goal out front, and then a really high slot tip that Gus just can't track. He's beaten 3 times in 5 minutes. The game's basically over at that point. But the Wild answer with one from Buyum, and then I think Johansson gets Johansson's one-timer was actually very pretty. These goals were nice-looking ones. It's just you didn't get enough, so, you know. Same with Hinostroza. He gave a great feed to Johansson for his second of the night. Johansson gets 2 and only goals for the Wild. And just a few bad defensive plays lead to the Mammoth being able to plot 6 for a 6-2 loss.
Yeah, Gus ended up getting 5 goals against with that empty netter being there. .875.
They had an empty netter down 5-2.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't watch this game if you can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know why the Wild were like, hey guys, we've been playing so good tonight. Let's pull the goalie.
Yeah, actually, in defense, they did play very well for stretches. They dominated the second period. It's just the fact when you weren't playing well, you didn't get a save, and you gave up 3 in the first 5 minutes, which is a trend the Wild have been doing lately.
Yeah, that's something that we have a couple stats on for later that are just insane. The Wild are terrible,
so
but
stick around.
Yeah, goals. Johansson with 2 goals, obviously, as Brady said, and then assists for Boyum, Kaprizov, and Rossi. Only thing of note that I don't think you mentioned right away is Yurov actually got his first. Oh, also Vinny Hinostroza, apparently. Brady.
He had I don't know why I missed that one, because he had such a beautiful pass on Johansson's goal.
Yeah, and you even had that in the second part.
I had that in the summary.
I was just reading it as I saw it. Anyway, Yurov actually got his time on the second line. Didn't go exactly as planned.
I was listening to Worst Seats podcast with Russo and Anthony LaPanta, and they said they had like an expected goals of -2 point something, which is the worst they've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
To say it didn't go well would be an understatement. They were in their own zone a lot. And I think it was Boldy and Eck were on the line with him. And you just can't have that with your 2 top players. So
yeah.
He hasn't seen time there since. So
unfortunately.
It's a growing pain thing. It'll come with time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was checking something on the other screen.
You're good. You're good.
Difficulties.
Okay, moving on to the Sharks. So Wild ended up losing 5-4. oops, 6-5 in an overtime loss. I saved it, didn't say it.
Saying you saved it really helped too.
I know. Really pointing it out really makes it seem like it was smaller. Anyway, 6-5 OT loss.
Yeah.
Only thing of note before pregame note is Johansson moved up to that first line and Foligno was injured.
Yep.
But and then Tyler Pitlick went in and Juracek and Boyum were paired together, which I thought was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know Russo at least tweeted about it. It's gotta make a lot of the veterans a little happier, but it's a very risky move knowing that those two people are not defensive-minded players.
Yeah, you kind of saw it too when they were down a couple. They've shortened their bench a lot in the third period, so you were seeing a lot of Spurgeon and Brodin and Faber, Middleton. You didn't see a lot of Buyum, Juracek. You saw Buyum slide up a few times. You didn't see Juracek a lot, which I think says a lot about their trust in those two right now. Buyum has not been well defensively, so
no, not great, but he's not exactly what he's known for. I hope they don't decide to just. You have to pair him with a good defensive players.
If you
what
can't
it is.
play defense, though, you shouldn't be out there, you know?
Go play wing. I don't know.
The offense needs to be the secondary thing to a defense. You have to be average at least, and I don't think he's been there.
Okay, so. I'll agree with you on that.
I was able to watch this full one. Let's see if my memory will serve me well.
I did catch the third and overtime of this game, actually, so...
So Sharks get one on the power play. I forget who took the penalty, but I didn't like the call. And then Kaprizov, with a very bad defensive play, he just gets walked to the second goal of the game. It was something I'm seeing, kind of the trend, and I've heard from a source like Russo that he's not been playing well defensively, kind of cheating for offense right now, and it was very evident on that
Well,
play.
He's got a lot of turnovers. He leads the team in turnovers. I don't remember the exact stat, obviously, but it's... And that's one of those stats that's kind of subjective, so it's not also one of my favorites. But just you can tell, honestly, that he's kind of forcing it, and he's just losing the puck in stupid ways.
Yeah, I don't know. I think once Zuccarello is back, it'll be hopefully better when him having someone he's very comfortable with. But he's a $17 million player. He should be able to do that without his safety blanket. Going on, though, Rossi with a nice feed is able to... feed Johansson for a tap-in. Johansson with a third goal in 2 games. Me and Cole hate to see that.
Hate to see it, but love to see somebody on the Wild actually playing well. Yeah. So take it the way you will.
Yeah, Kaprizov strips a defenseman, goes in 2-on-1, gets a nice feed to Rossi for a 2-2 tie in the game. That was all the action until the second, where another bad giveaway by Kaprizov leads to a Shark goal. And a couple seconds later, after the puck was dropped, Reeves is in front of the net and pots one for a 4-2 lead for the Sharks.
You know, it's a bad sign when Ryan Reeves scores on you in the big 25.
So many tweets on Twitter about that. It was insane. And you know what? I'm with you. You should not be letting Ryan Reeves score on you. While getting their tranches after that, they locked in, but really weren't able to get much. So... going into the third, they shortened their bench a lot. No fourth line, no Yurov, and they don't really go with Buyum or Juracek. The Wild, though, they have a nice tic-tac-toe play on the power play. I really love this one. It was from Faber to Kaprizov to Hartman. It was just one of those goals you like to see. I don't know. They can't really put 2 passes together, but then they were able to do that, which I was surprised by. Shark Kid went back on the power play. Wild answer with Buyum, who just shoots it, and it hits the defender and just arches over the goaltender into the net. One of the weirder goals you'll probably see. And then Eck with a nice tip out front ties the game to go to overtime. And then I'll let you do the overtime because it makes me mad thinking about it.
Yeah, it frustrated me really badly. I'll read what you said, but I also watched this entire thing just...
Maybe clean up the swearing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I already almost dropped one, so you have the dump button ready, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is back there.
Somewhere.
Anyway, the Wild control the puck, win the faceoff, control the puck for 3 minutes to start that overtime. They were controlling it. They were getting shots and still keeping the puck, which is not easy to do, obviously. The Sharks couldn't get a change. I believe they had certain players with over 3 minutes ice time. They had that little counter going. And then finally somebody gets away. They get just the Wild. I can't remember who dropped back out of the zone. I want to say it was Faber. It was a player that's like, okay, they're pretty competent. and they just drop back out of the zone. Sharks player skates away, gets a change. Macklin Celebrini gets on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at my girlfriend Grace and went, "Uh-oh," and she kind of looked at me like, "Okay, like it's just one player, you know." He goes down, strips Faber, and goes on a breakaway and scores. And the entire time, she said my face was just slowly getting sadder as she could see him skating away.
You knew he wasn't missing.
You knew he wasn't missing, and as soon as it went in, it was like, okay, Wally should have that save. Personally, I believe that. Obviously, it's Macklin Celebrini, first overall pick last year. Last year or this year?
Good player. Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, last year. I mean, he's a great player. That's not anything to like sniff at, but I don't understand what the Wild were doing at that point where it was almost better to take a whistle of some sort and just take a risk than, like, it was 3 minutes of keep away and they just couldn't capitalize. They were getting a lot of chances. There was a couple whiffs, like just
close calls. It was it was an unfortunate play. The puck bounced over Faber's stick. And if the Sharks weren't so desperate for a change 3 minutes in, that one of their players is going to change when the puck's going up the ice. You never do that in overtime. You stay in front of it, but they were on the ice for 3 minutes, so they were so desperate for a change, they went for it. And the one guy who can make that play makes the play. He back checks. It wasn't an impressive back check. He was just in the right place at the right time. It was such wild luck that the puck would jump over Faber's stick. He gets it picked off by Celebrini, and he goes down blue line to goal. It's just kind of summarized what the Wild are like facing luck-wise right now. I feel like they're not getting a single bounce. I mean, I say that, but the Booyam goal was the luckiest thing I think I've ever seen in my life with the rainbow arch. But it's just, that's the game you get away with 2 points. You know, it's the Sharks. You're in overtime. You have them hemmed in 3 minutes. I've never seen 3 minutes of control in my life.
Not like that.
And they just can't do it. There's a few big saves by Askarov, the goaltender, but it's just so disappointing.
He doesn't make up for the actual what happened, honestly. Anyway, Wally ended up having a 76% save percentage. I didn't write down the shots and saves on this one accidentally. But goals by JoJo, Rossi, Hartman, Eck, and Boyum. Assists by Rossi, 3 by Faber, 3 by Krill. Hartman and Trennan also get 1.
I see Trennan on the score sheet a little bit.
Yeah, actually, I mean, considering how he's been playing well, just hasn't been on the score sheet. Seeing him a little bit, it's kind of nice. But
I think this was the first points for Faber too.
In a bit, yeah.
He had the comments after the Devils game that he needs to be better. He took personal responsibility for his play, and I thought he looked a lot better. I think he really was a man of his word, and he had a 3.9 to show it. He had a few the next game too, so. I didn't like how he started the season, but he's been doing better lately. Mm-hmm. The one bright spot I'm trying to look at, I don't know. I'm really just trying to look at specific things to be positive and not let this team affect my life completely. It's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's one other disappointing game. Jets at home.
And it was disappointing, but it wasn't the worst game. The Wild played pretty good, I thought, honestly.
Disappointing results, I guess I should say. Yeah. I really like everything they did with the anniversary game. Obviously, this was their first of 4 for the 24th anniversary. Favorite player growing up was Marian Gaborik, so it's nice to see him back in the stadium.
Yeah, it was. I thought they did a pretty cool pregame celebration. A little annoying still that they don't start games on time. I am annoyed by irrelevant, but I don't know. Again, it was pretty fun to see actually, and those jerseys look really nice. I think it was. Was it Anthony LaPanta that mentioned that it's nice to see the hockey go back to the tradition of white at home?
I agree. I think they should do at least alternate, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
I love seeing the Wild jerseys. They're one of the better jerseys in the league, but you go to a game, you just see white on the other team. It'd be nice to see some of the colors. I agree. The Red Flames jersey, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's that hard to do either.
It's really not. The NHL, I feel like, okay, that is way too big of a tangent. I'll get a cease and desist. But jerseys have gone downhill. That's all I was going to say.
That's true.
I do blame the current manufacturers and a little bit of past manufacturers. But jerseys used to look way cooler. Let's bring that back. Jerseys are supposed to be fun, okay? Anyway, Wild ended up losing 4-3 in overtime last night. Brady, would you like to talk about it, or should I talk about it? Because I know I watched this one. I think you did.
I watched it. I missed the third goal. I'll let you take over in the third. But Wild start off good. They outplayed the Jets pretty well, which I was surprised about because they're known for their slow starts.
Mm-hmm.
but the Jets still get 2 quick goals to go up 2-0. Second was a tip. Can't really blame Gus. I don't remember the first one. I think it's kind of just squeaked by him.
The first one, yeah, just squeaked by him. It was not a tip, but it was a
deflection kind of.
No, what's a screened goal? I couldn't think of it for some reason,
No,
but
fair. It's some rough ones, but that's kind of how the Wild goaltending's been going, so that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
I think they played well though. Into the second, Middleton fights. I'm pretty sure he fights Luke Shen, which I forget
so.
He's in the league still, but it was a pretty good scrap.
It was a good fight, and I think Middleton was just trying to get the Wild to have some energy at that point.
It worked,
was
though.
It did work. It really did.
And then I'm pretty sure there's a little scrum out in front of the net. It was a weird shot that got deflected over Hellebuck, and there's just a scramble of Rossi and Boldy out front. The puck's loose. I'm really surprised the refs didn't blow the whistle, because normally when they can't see for a second, they blow it. It was really good he didn't, because I could see it pretty clearly from the stream that I was watching that it was loose. And then Kaprizov just pokes it through. You see the Wild celebrate. There's no call, and you look at the replay. It was pretty clearly a goal.
Yeah.
Weirder one you've seen.
It was a goofy one, and on the broadcast they were talking about if Winnipeg was going to challenge it, and I mean, you could argue they could have, but again, who knows what goaltender interference is? And yeah, Winnipeg ended up not challenging it. They were up 2-1 at the point, and they were like, okay, let's not give the Wild a chance.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't last.
Yeah, and then a little while later, I think it's Faber who takes the shot.
Faber ended up getting it.
I think he misses wide. It hits the glass. It comes back in front of the net, and Hellebuck, like soccer, kicks it in. He does it completely on accident. He's going to get back in the goal, but literally no Wild player near him, and he just like knocks it in his own net. You'll definitely see that on NHL Weird or something.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of it on Instagram or anything, which I was surprised about. One of the funnier goals, and I'm so glad it happened to Hellebuck because I can't stand the guy, even though he's the U.S. goaltender, yada yada. But Wild tie it up after 2, going into the third.
And then actually at the end of the second period, there's a really weird penalty called. The referee ends up apologizing to Boldy in between periods. But yeah, I don't know how that high sticking call was called. I feel like I know because it's not a major, they don't review it, but I feel like that's something that should be reviewed. It feels like a call that can be messed up so easily, ends up being the puck.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know or didn't see, Boldy goes to poke the puck. They're on a power play at the end of the period, so he's trying to poke it out front. I don't know who. Someone lifts his stick, and the puck ramps off. The puck actually ends up hitting him, I think, in the visor helmet area, and he reacts, grabs his face, and the ref calls high sticking on Boldy.
Yeah.
You watch the replay, it sticks nowhere near him. It's a terrible call. The ref apologized, which is good. Own up to your mistakes. Yeah, if you can't...
I'm glad you covered it, because
if you can't review that, though, that's terrible. I remember last year Spurgeon did an off the glass and out, and he got called for a delay of game, and now that's reviewable. You know, you're close enough with the 4-minute like double minor to be able to review it. I don't see why you can't just do that one. Maybe they're worried you get to the territory of being able to do that for every play.
Yeah, I guess. But it just feels like one of those calls where it's so easy to get wrong. And I can't blame the player. If you get hit with a puck there, you're gonna reach and react. And it's not...
He's not selling it. You don't blame the player. It's just the ref's in the position he's supposed to be in. It's just a hockey play that happened that was called a penalty and shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and I think it almost deteriorates a little bit of the game. Just not being able to... I guess you don't want everything to be reviewed. I'm personally for not reviewing absolutely everything. But that seems like just an easy call to mess up every time. And there is a break of play when calls are made. I feel like that's something that could be reviewed really quickly.
Yeah, like I think Toronto could see it instantly and phone it down. Like we had replays instantly on the broadcast, you know?
Yeah.
And as a Wild fan, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
If it happened as a Jets fan, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Mark Scheifele was crying to the refs earlier about some missed calls. I'm pretty sure they caught him on hot mic saying that was our makeup. Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway.
Going into the third, I'll let you take it.
Yeah, power play provided by Tarasenko. I don't remember exactly what happened. I believe he got hooked after making a really good zone entry. I was pretty impressed. Faber ends up getting a shot, and Hartman and JoJo fight in front of the net. Ends up getting called on the broadcast as a Hartman goal. They're both just sitting there swiping as hard as they can, not touching the puck. It is like watching curling. And ultimately, JoJo got credit in the end, but Hartman, like they announced it as Hartman in the arena and on the broadcast, and it got changed later.
Yeah, Hartman's not even credited with an assist on that goal, which is the funny part.
Well, and it was like, you couldn't tell who influenced it even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, they had to have gotten out, like, the most instant replay of him just whispering towards it and it going in. I don't know. It's a goal's a goal. I ended up not watching the overtime because my phone stopped playing the website that I watch things on. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And so I did not get to witness the rest of that game.
Going down the stretch, the Wild are trying to hold on to this lead, obviously, with, I think, roughly over halfway through the period, Niederreiter gets the tying goal, which is kind of sad. I think the Wild controlled play after this, too. I remember. I didn't watch it. I was actually watching the Blue Jays game. They were in there.
Why would you ever watch baseball?
I watched the 18 innings a night ago. I was up till 2 a.m. just to be disappointed and see the Dodgers.
Since when are you a baseball fan?
Since I could see the Dodgers luge on the world stage.
Okay.
I don't know. I follow a lot of hockey podcasts. Mostly they're based out of Toronto because Canada's hockey.
I think you're just gonna move to Canada when you graduate or something.
I'm gonna go to Canada. I'm gonna buy some loonies and toonies and throw some coins. I don't know.
Go down to Tim Hortons.
Get a pet beaver.
Robin Sparkles. I love Robin Sparkles.
Okay, yeah. Wild get the point out of this, which is, I mean, half a win. I gotta try and lock back in. This was similar to the Sharks, though. They controlled it pretty well. They turned it over. Scheifele got a zone entry. They dropped it to Connor. No one was covering him. They were late to pick him up, and just a weird release beats Gus blocker side. It was sad, and I've kind of realized that I'm in a bad hockey viewer habit of, like, every time a goal is scored against the Wild, I'm like, review it, call it back. I think that's a bad way to watch hockey, and that's kind of where I am right now. But disappointing, and I wasn't relieved when they didn't review it either. So
yeah, well, I'm actually in a different part. Every time the Wild gets scored on and now they're down, I try to turn it off, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have a radio show, and then turn it back on because I'm just so mad at them right now.
No, I get that. It's odd.
It's just frustrating. Anyway, Gus ends up with 17 saves on 21 shots for a point. Basically an 81% save percentage. Not quite, but
0.08,
yeah. Anyway. Goals by Faber, Kaprizov, and JoJo. Obviously, as we said, none of those were very much so their goals, but all kind of sloppy. Yeah. Anyway, assists by Spurgeon, Boldy, Rossi getting 2 more. Vinny Nostroza and Faber got an assist as well.
We have a few notes. Faceoff was about 47.3 towards the Wild. Another losing game.
Not bad for the Jets, honestly.
Faber had 7 shots. Rough week. You could have came out with more points. They left points on the table, and it hurts.
I mean, at least 2 points were left on the table, let alone you should have been more competitive in those Devils and Mammoth games, honestly.
You should have beat the Sharks.
We should have beat the Sharks straight up, yeah.
You want to move around to UND and Gophers played?
Yeah.
UMD, not UND, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
They played UND last week.
It is tough. UN and UM. Why are the...
One
and they're both really good teams right now. Anyway, Gophers and UMD, the Minnesota Duluth team, of course, played their series this weekend. And Duluth ended up taking both games. The Gophers kind of went home embarrassed, obviously. Everyone's talking about how UMD is easily the best team, hockey or D1 team in Minnesota. Obviously, there's a decent amount of them, and the Gophers are maybe the worst. I saw one thing, and it was rating the Edina boys team higher than the Gophers. It was just very funny. But yeah, Gophers end up losing 3-0 and 4-1 in those games. Again, it's just disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, UND ends up splitting a series with Clarkson. I don't know who that is.
No clue.
Apparently a D1 team and a good enough one. They had lost game 1 2-5 and won game 2 1-0. Kind of slower games from what I understood. Nothing much just to say about that. I don't know.
I didn't even watch these ones.
I actually did watch the highlights of the Gophers and UMD, and I did watch a highlight of the 2-5 Clarkson game because I was like, who is Clarkson?
It's the guy from Top Gear, you know?
I thought you meant Top Gun at first. I just completely misheard you. Anyway, then moving on to the Fargo Force, the hometown team. Well, at least for these people.
For us, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Fargo Force ends up taking game 1 against Omaha in Omaha, 4-1, but then lost game 2, 4-0. Split series, not much else to say. The Fargo Force's #1 center, though, he's leading the team. I believe he's 10 points in 10 games, and he is committed to Western Michigan.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he is Canadian. Lane something.
Lane Hudson?
No, it is not Lane Hudson, the defenseman for
the Montreal Canadiens.
Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, my bad.
Signed a big contract recently, believe it or not.
Yeah, let's go into that.
Recently is overstated. We already covered that, Brady. We're not going back in time.
Okay. Some injury updates. Zuccarello skating again. They still think he's 2 weeks out, though. No real updates on Nico Sturm. He's still on timeline. Same with Bogosian. Little update, though. Foligno's going to be out for tomorrow's game, I'm pretty sure. I think they're going to be calling up somebody. You mentioned that, though. So.
Yeah, I think Abed Cabell is probably your best bet to fit a player like Foligno.
I forget what we talk about on air and off air sometimes, so
that's why I try to avoid talking to you.
Yeah, that's why we don't talk at all. Actually,
that's why I don't call you or text you ever. I just ignore you as a person.
Yeah, we actually hate each other outside of this studio.
This is actually the only time we actually look each other in the eyes.
Yeah.
That's actually probably true. I'm not good with that. Anyway.
I have social anxiety.
Just a little bit.
Well, moving on to a little more big picture wild stuff. The 25th anniversary kicked off on Tuesday. What do you think of everything?
I like the presentation, obviously. I don't like that the NHL games don't start on time. That has always annoyed me. Yeah. It always will. But the jerseys look really nice. I like bringing the players back. I couldn't tell you, other than Marian Gaborik, who all was there last night. That was the only one of note to me.
Who I actually liked a lot as a player when he was still here. I remember because he was bald, and I thought that was funny.
Okay.
And then Pierre-Marc Bouchard, who's also bald. He's the classic 96 with the spinorama. I remember, NHL 14 to age myself. I remember playing that, and I'd always re-sign him because I just remembered him as a Wild player. Yeah, I always had that spinorama move, and in the shootout, I remember because he's one of the reasons it got banned from the shootouts.
That's a good thing to be known for.
And then I think it was Ryan Rolston or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
But a couple of classic ones. I mean, Mikko Koivu wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be for one of the later ones. There's another one coming up on the 4th of November. That's going to be in our previews this week. It's going to be goaltenders. They have a few returning, so they're spacing out. I wonder if they'll do defense.
I mean, we might as well cover that now. I don't know why we would
Where's
come
Ryan
back
Suter?
to it.
Where's Zach Parise? They're a big part of the 20.
They are not going to be they are not going to show up. They'll get booed out of the stadium.
I think it's mutual that they will not be appearing.
Yeah. Goalies coming back are Josh Harding, Devin Dubnyk, and Nicholas Backstrom. I feel like those are pretty good names that everyone...
Some of my favorite goaltenders of all time, and Devin Dubnyk. It'll be interesting to see how they are. I miss Josh Harding.
I actually did see this. It's actually also Mikko Koivu bobblehead night that night.
What?
I just remembered that.
They should have done a Nicholas Backstrom bobblehead night.
I absolutely agree. I feel like that's the way smarter move.
He wasn't the greatest goaltender of all time.
He's kind of iconic though.
He's iconic. He is the Minnesota Wild goaltender. He has the most wins. I think best save percentage. He has all the goaltending stats until Gustafsson plays out his contract.
Mm-hmm.
He's my favorite goaltender as a kid, so there's
agree.
no bias here at all.
And the name is very recognizable. I feel like that's a part of it.
Shout out Nicholas Backstrom on the Capitals for
don't think there's any goalies on their bobblehead list, though.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Gaborik, Koivu, Spurgeon, and Kaprizov.
Yeah, I mean,
those are the classics. Maybe swap out Spurgeon.
Your dad is screaming right now to swap out Spurgeon. He's just mad.
I think it's my whole family.
Yeah. Anyway, as I said to you earlier, I actually did preview this to Brady so he could pick his answer. If you could pick one of the goalies that are coming back to start for the Wild as they are having goaltending issues, who would you start?
I think age-wise, I would pick Devin Dubnyk because he's the closest to a goaltender's age.
Yeah.
If we're talking about in their prime, though, probably Backstrom. I think he was more consistent goaltender over time. I know he played in a different era, so maybe he's not well adjusted, but to see him put on the pads again, it would be a treat.
I think just straight up for the name recognition alone, it would be a treat.
It's nostalgia for me. That's what all this is nostalgia.
Yeah, that's true. I think my grandpa personally would pick Dubnyk just because he loved when they would just go Doob. He loved that.
It was always so weird to me because I could never tell if they were booing or not.
Yeah. He saved the puck.
Dude.
Yeah, that's what you do. It's actually a known thing.
You boo the goalie when he does his job.
Anyways, do you want me to cover those random Russo stats that I saw right before the show?
Yeah, sure. Going into the more realistic light of the Minnesota Wild.
Very disappointing realistic light. The Wild have actually trailed 309 minutes through 11 games, second most in the NHL, only behind Boston at 316. Yeah, it's not a good start. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, they've given up the first goal 7 of their 8 losses.
Yeah,
which is expected, as if you get scored on first, you're probably not doing too well.
Yeah, but not only that, 5 of those 8 were in the first 7 minutes of the game. Of the first period of the game, which is, again, not great. But again, and then in 6 of those 8 losses, they ended up trailing 2-0. Not just, like, it's just worse. It's almost like they go on some sort of slide that's just terrible. I mean...
And 3 of those 6, they go down on 3-0.
Yeah, again, more of a slide. Obviously, that's... You're going to have games that go like that, but to have... Through 8 losses, 11 games, you have 3 of those where you're down 3-0 at some point. That is not a good start.
That is bad. I do want to apologize for a listener. I just saw my mic peak really loudly there a few seconds ago. So call Cole if you have any complaints.
I'll get a text message or 2. Tell that Brady to turn it down.
Hey, we're going full pendulum. I was too quiet to start. No,
yeah.
I am trying to be a little louder. If you follow us on YouTube or anything, you can barely hear me. You can hear Cole just fine, and there's just me. Yeah, I think they did very well today.
I'm a very pronounced person.
I think it records your mic is what my thing is.
It might be. I have no idea. We have no idea how any of this stuff works in here, really.
We don't even get paid.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm waiting for my contract extension announcement. Maybe that's what we should do when we switch over the semesters. We should announce our contract extension.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
That's funny.
Anyway, on a positive note, though, Kaprizov scored his 401st point last night, passing Parise for 4th all-time in Minnesota Wild history.
I don't know if you have this offhand, but is Spurgeon ahead of him in points?
Yeah, he is.
So it's Gaborik, Koivu, then Spurgeon, right?
I believe so. I can look it up just to be absolutely sure.
I'm almost
but
positive because I think Kaprizov has no, it's the goals. I'm pretty sure Kaprizov has a chance to break this year, become the all-time goal scorer, which would be fun.
It would be very good. And then, as mentioning Spurgeon, he just broke 300 career assists, which is enough to be 3rd all-time for the Wild. Which, I mean, he is 3rd all-time for points, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Kirill Kaprizov at 401 is 4th place. Spurgeon is at 418. Kaprizov is sniffing down his neck at 3 times less games.
Well, there's a factor that Kaprizov's a star in this league, and also Spurgeon is a defenseman.
Yeah. I'm impressed with how many goals Spurgeon has. That's wild to me. That he has 100.
Mobile defense. He's on our power play 1.
Yeah.
Which I did not like that Bouillon was booted off the power play. I get it if you're not playing defense well in this league, you won't be in this league long. You gotta let him sink or swim out there. And right now we're sinking as a team. Might as well let him sink as a part of it. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Just to wrap up those ranks to the players, Gaborik's at 437. So Kaprizov again has a chance to beat that this year. Most likely will. Mikko Koivu hanging up in the stratosphere though at 709. Yeah, 709. 500 assists, by the way.
710-point career, 1 with Columbus. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Half a season with Columbus, scored a goal, dipped to retirement.
That was actually just so disappointing,
He left to go to a winning team.
Yeah.
Columbus.
Yeah.
That was just... Hated that.
Yeah, everyone did. I don't understand what we're doing.
Don't forget. Remember, Wild fans. Don't forget.
Anyways, don't let him forget.
Okay, do you want to do your hot or not list before we do previews?
Yeah, sure. I didn't even realize we've already 40 minutes into this.
We like to talk. Who would have guessed?
Who would have ever guessed? We have a radio show. We like to talk. Who knew that?
Yeah, we like to talk, but yet you can't stand the sound of your own voice.
Yeah, I cannot listen to the YouTube videos and never will.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to the C&B Talk Hockey radio show.
I think we're up to a whole 6 subscribers.
And
so
3 of those are me.
The movement is really going up. I believe I am the other one, and my mom and sister are the others. So
shout out AJ Forcier. You'll subscribe.
Eventually. Eventually.
Yeah,
we'll convince him.
He'll have to learn to make a YouTube account, though. So I don't know.
It'll be a while. He doesn't know his own password or something. I don't know. Anyway, hot or not list. Hot or not list. Currently, Boldy moved up to the S tier. He is the only person at S tier. Last week he was at A tier. I think he's just been on a tear recently. I don't know about you, Brady.
Yeah, he's been on a little bit of tear. He's been the bright spot in a few bad games. I think Kaprizov looked pretty good too. I think you could say Boldy's better than him right now, though. So.
I think right now he is better. I think Kaprizov has more points, but I think Boldy's just been the better player, like visually when you're looking at him. So I have him up there. I think that he's gonna stay in that S to A tier the whole season right now, the way he's playing. Yeah. Anyway, moving down to A tier, we have Kaprizov, Eriksson, Johansson, Rossi, Faber, and Hartman. Rossi is the only one that ended up getting moved up to this. Actually, other than, I guess, Faber. Actually, and Johansson. I don't know what I'm saying, why I'm acting like...
The beautiful Johansson.
Yeah, Johansson getting moved up to A.
Talked down about him all show last time, and now look at him scoring 3 goals in the 2 games.
He's getting a lot more opportunity, obviously, getting moved up to that first line. It's very noticeable that he has been getting more opportunity. I think it's something that we will continue to see from him if he keeps playing at this pace. I mean, he had 3 goals, and we should probably keep track of that. Goals and assists for the week.
We should keep track of
somebody should be doing that. I don't know who's not doing that. But yeah, Johansson had a very good week. Rossi coming back from injury, so technically he moved up from dead to A. And then Faber ends up, I think he just had a very good week. He looked a lot better defensively. After he called himself out in the Devils game, he saw the up and up, and so I moved him up to A tier.
Johansson's at 5 goals, 3 assists on the year right now. So, yeah, -2, which is one of the better plus minuses on the team. This is just popping out of me. Who do you think has the worst plus minus on the team?
I would guess Juracek.
Jared Spurgeon's at a -12.
Ugh.
The next closest is Marcus Foligno at -9.
Yeah, that I could have told you. The Spurgeon hate just keeps growing within the Jensen household.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd always defend Spurgeon. He's not looked good though.
No,
Even
he's
if you
not.
look at the Brett Marshall stats, follow him on Twitter. He's got good breakdowns. He's always been on the negative. So
yeah, not good.
You'll see that later in Cole's list. Speaking of Cole's list.
Yeah. Anyway, Hartman and Eriksson also having just very strong games. Hartman has been looking really good. I know Russo specifically pointed out the third period of the what am I thinking of? Sharks game and the first period of the Jets game. He's looked almost unstoppable. Obviously fading in and out after that. Anyway, our B tier list is Trenin, Brodin, Yurov, Spurgeon, Hinostroza, Boyum, and Tarasenko. Any of those really jump out at you? I think Boyum is the only person that dropped from A tier to B tier finally. Other than that, there hasn't been much movement.
Besides the way you spelled his name, I don't think Spurgeon should be that high. I think he should be in the detail. Spurgeon, Spergion.
Spelling, I'm a speaker, not a speller. Okay,
You should see this list. It's a bunch of blue and red squiggles all over the place.
Most of those are me. I do spell some things wrong on purpose. I never really spelled Johansson's name other than JoJo.
Yeah, like anniversary.
Because I am okay. That was you that misspelled it.
You just added to
I
it?
added to it. I did make it worse.
No, I agree with most of this. I don't know. They've looked solid. I liked Hinostroza's game a lot, but B tier seems right. William until he gets better defensively and all around. B is right. It's good. I never have many issues with your list.
Yeah, actually, Tarasenko also moved from A to B. I think he didn't play bad. He's just is supposed to be getting some more points than he is.
Yeah, he's supposed to be better.
He's supposed to be more of a shooter. He's played very strong defensively, and he's been getting he's been drawing penalties.
You just haven't seen him on the power play as much as
that is true.
At the start of the year too, but
yeah. I don't know. Other than that, it's the only other player that obviously I agree Spurgeon should probably move down, and Yurov I definitely still probably have higher than most would. I just have a soft spot for him at this point. Brodin, you could argue as an A tier. I don't think he scores. That's not his game, but I think points are kind of a factor in my grading system.
Yeah.
But he's looked a lot better defensively. I do think he might have been at actually C tier last week, so he might have moved up. I tried to start writing down when they move up or down, but I kind of do it in between games sometimes.
For the heart, yeah.
It is a mind and moment list that I make.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving on. C tier. We still have Middleton. He hasn't been doing much other than fighting. Gustafson, Juracek, Wally, and Tyler Pitlick all round out C tier. Wallstead did move from B to C. He probably could have moved to D. He did not have a great game against the Sharks.
No, you can't blame him for one bad game when he only gets one game a week.
That is true.
750 is a bad save percentage.
Yeah, it is.
Some of those weren't his fault. Obviously, it's always how it is with goaltenders, but soft spot for him too. So.
Yeah, I definitely have a soft spot. I had him in B tier until I walked over here, and I was just like, I can't do it. I have the soft spot for him, but I can't lie to people and give it false hope. But
the only one I would really object to in C tier, Middleton's played well. I mean, maybe like more points out of him, but he got the team going with the fight against Winnipeg. So, but maybe that's not enough. D tier Ben Jones. Forgot he played, so I think that's about right.
Most people forgot he played. Brett Marshall's system had him so low. It was actually kind of embarrassing. He was a -3 or something.
Ooh.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while, so that's why I specifically called it out.
Pretty sure he got sent down, so you probably won't be seeing him much.
Thank God. Don't mean to call him out like that. He is a professional athlete, though, so... Do what you want.
Your dead section.
Yeah, my dead section is still Bogo, Sturm, and Zuki. I think. Speaking of the dead, Foligno just didn't even make the list this week. He didn't even make the dead list.
Nope.
So there is that. I would probably rank him at C if I had to. There, you're adding it.
I'll put him on the dead list.
Yeah, I would probably rank him at C. He's just been disappointing, very slow this season. So there's that.
Very true. I agree with that.
Well, should we move on to game previews, or do you have anything else that I completely forgot about?
Not off the top of my head.
Oh, I got something that I know should be covered because you have kind of a stronger opinion. I don't know if we can cover it in 13 minutes, but the strong indication of some fans that John Hynes should be fired.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you at? I know you very much so disagree with me. I do think Hynes should be on the hot seat at least by now. If not, people starting to talk about it. Yeah. I know the anger is there, so.
Yeah, I asked my brothers if they had any takes for the show. My brother, Spurgeon trades. When will Hynes be fired?
Yeah.
I don't know if Spurgeon's able to be traded. I don't know about his no-move clause, if he has it or
That's
not.
actually a good point.
I think it might have expired. I don't care. I don't think he's going anywhere. He's the captain. Hopefully he gets better.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, who's going to take him? You know?
That is very true. Who want me? And there's just an empty room. It's not good.
No, but looking at like the Huns firing, if he's on the hot seat, I don't really think he's on the hot seat right now.
Yeah.
Plenty of teams get off to slow starts and turn around. If you looked at Dean Evanson as the example a couple of years ago, he had till I think mid-November, and then he got fired.
Well, Brady, that's 2 weeks, so I think he is on the hot seat at this point. Then
it was towards Thanksgiving. It's a lot of people say that people outside the playoffs by Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving is when you kind of know where you are.
Good save, you Canadian. he's transitioning to Canadian in front of our eyes.
I'll start slipping an A in there.
Yeah, you're watching Toronto baseball. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah. You can blame my brother for that. He showed me the Real Kipper Born, their Toronto podcast.
Okay. Yeah, anyway.
Good luck with that. Anyway, maybe he's on the hot seat. I don't think he's on the hot seat. We haven't heard anything, like, really evident.
No, we haven't.
I think Russo would have reported, or Joe Smith. I haven't heard anything, so I don't think.
I agree. I haven't heard anything. I just think that they had such a small leash with Evason, and obviously the playoffs last year, I think we're a little disappointing to see. I'm not saying the Wild should win the playoff or win the Stanley Cup, but I feel like their 6-game series against the Knights was a little disappointing to watch even, and I think Hynes is a big part of that. I don't
know. When you look at that series, you're a couple of bounces away from going on and beating that team. You know, if the goal stands, if Nyquist isn't offsides, you win that game.
If Gary Anderson didn't miss that field goal, the Vikings would have won the Super Bowl. I don't know if ands or buts mean nothing to me.
Okay, well, it's just like they weren't beaten atrociously. You can't be like your coaching was fundamentally wrong here and it lost the game. I mean, the way he handled Bouillon, that was not good. You had him in for 2 or 3 games. You barely played him the second and third.
And the way they treated Rossi.
And the way Barry and Rossi was also terrible. I mean, I'm slowly agreeing with you.
Yeah.
That his coaching style was not good.
And I hate to do this because it's a kind of a random player to pick out and pick on, but Jonathan Brazeau. Yeah. He's been lighting it up for the Penguins. He has 5 goals.
Yeah.
And 4 assists, 5 goals and 6 assists, something like that. He's at 11 points.
He could end the season with 5 goals and 6 assists, and it wouldn't surprise me.
He could, but the way he's getting those goals is he's getting to the front of the net and he's tipping them. It's not the way the Wild were letting him play. The Wild buried him on the fourth line, and he didn't get to play. That's not the style of play. I think that they need to look at Hines and the way he's playing players.
How much is that the fourth line of the Wild being
not good?
I think like the third, second, and first line being good compared to the Penguins who don't have anything, so he has more opportunities.
That is something I can agree with.
Like name 7 Penguins offensive players.
Okay, I feel like that's unfair. I could name 7 players on maybe 3 teams in the NHL.
Crosby, Malkin, old heads. You have Raquel. I think Rust is still there.
I don't think so.
Brazau's there.
Yeah, there you go.
He's the 5th guy I can think of, and that's because we're talking about him.
Yeah.
Know? I think it's just,
Jason Zucker.
I think he's just a bad team, and he has more chances on a bad team. You know.
I do agree with that.
Konstantinov playing on the Bruins. Bruins are not a good team. Name 7 offensive Bruin players.
Why is 7 your list?
Because I feel like you could name 6. I don't know. Name 3.
No.
David Boston.
Yeah, that's your easy one. Yeah, it's tough, but you still can't deny that these players are gonna have big effects. You can lose a player.
I just think our top 3 was better than what Brazeau would be doing.
I agree. I just think you should give play to player strength rather than just trying to force them into something that they're not good at.
Yeah, I agree, but it's hard to play a team system if you're catering to individuals.
I agree.
Sometimes it is get in line or get out of the way.
That is true. I think that's kind of what's happening with Boyum a little bit. That he's not getting out of the way.
He's not getting in line.
He's just very much so still trying to play his own game, and that might be the best way he ever plays is his own game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think Hines' way is the right way at this point.
I don't either. I didn't like the hiring, but
no,
I don't think he's on the hot seat.
And all of a sudden they fire him. All of a sudden they're hiring Pete Dubois or they're hiring
Pete DeBoer or
John Tortorella.
Tortorella.
I would actually stop being a Minnesota Wild fan if Tortorella became a coach.
I don't think DeBoer is getting signed because he's getting paid to not to scout right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Head coach salary just to scout.
Well, I don't know if it's the same way for hockey, but I know for football, if they get bought out, they still have to be interviewing for positions.
I don't think it's
it might not be, but I do like that rule.
Paycheck, twiddling his thumbs. So.
Yeah. It didn't say you have to interview good. He just shows up with his stepbrother. They're both wearing tuxedos.
Yeah. Him and Tortorella are stepbrothers.
I think a TV show could be born out of this.
Oh, my God.
It would be so annoying. I don't know who you could get to play as grouchy of a person as Tortorella other than just like an old man that can't hear anyone actually, and he just let it go.
Robert De Niro. I don't know.
Robert De Niro. How good do you think Tortorella looks?
Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna move on to the game previews since we got 5 minutes left here. 3 games on tap. Kind of a lighter week. You have Penguins on Thursday, Canucks on Saturday, and Nashville on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's home, away, home.
I believe it's actually home, away.
No, the 4th is their 25th anniversary. I know Nashville's at home. I'll let you look that while I go into.
They're actually all home.
All home. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well, a little homestand here. Penguins are off to a hot start. They're 7-2-2, kind of like we mentioned. Crosby and Malkin are actually in the top of the league right now, I believe, for points, which is surprising that the old heads can still get it done.
Good to see, though.
Yeah. I don't think they'll continue this for the long
No, they
term,
won't.
But, I think they just got to attack the older decor. The Penguins get pucks to the net. I don't think the goaltender's anything that special. So.
No, they're really not.
So.
I think this game the Wild lose just because of the Wild right now, but I think in reality this team should not be as good as they are.
Yeah.
We'll see how the Wild truly attack this game.
I agree. You did the Canucks.
Yeah.
Because of all the typos.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's be a little nicer. I spelled Hughes right. Okay. It just does not like names. That's how you spell Hughes.
Yeah, but
I spelled Quinn wrong, but that's how you spell Hughes.
Just get it wrong.
Okay, anyway, the Canucks are going to be here on Saturday. Currently, they are just dying. They have so many injured players, including their captain and highest paid player, Quinn Hughes, Connor Garland, Nihilus Hoglander, Derek. I think you just want me to read names.
Okay, Quinn Hughes, Connor Garland, Niels Hoglander, Derek Forbert, Teddy Bluger, Philip Cheadle, Jonathan Lukermaki,
Yeah.
and then Victor Machini. Mancini.
Yeah, I mean, that's just missing most of their lineup.
Mhm.
That's who's injured right now. I think one or two of them were listed as possible to return for our game.
Yep.
And I believe it was Chittle and Hoglander. But
I'm pretty sure Cheadle's dealing with a concussion of some sort, which
Yeah.
he's dealt with in the past. If you've seen that Tom Wilson hit on him,
not very good,
not
yeah.
very good. And then Nashville, home. It's going to be actually one of the 25th anniversary days. This is what we were talking about with the goaltenders earlier. That's when they're doing that night. So the Predators are similar to the Wild right now. They're 4-5-2 as of this recording. Could go either way. You know, I'd like to see him win, but it depends on how good Soros is in front of them, I think. And then, yeah.
I think the Wild leave this weekend being 2-1-0.
0-3.
Really?
No.
That's bold. I like that, though.
I'm tired of being positive. No, I think realistically they should.
I'm tired of being negative. You're tired of being positive?
It's stressful on my psyche, Cole.
I'm like so down on the Wild. That means they're gonna turn it around, or I'm just gonna stop watching them. So I don't know what this podcast is gonna be
a fun
about.
Radio show.
Yeah.
So the Wild lost
So
5-2. They did?
I think they lost. Somebody played well. I don't know.
No, they didn't, Cole. They had to cancel the game because of an outbreak of a virus or something.
That might actually save the Wild season at that point.
COVID year.
COVID
Everyone
year
gets in
two.
the playoffs.
The Wild somehow made the playoffs that year. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's about it. I don't know. Do you got anything you want to wrap up the around the league stats or anything like that?
Around the league stats, no, but the NDSU beat SDSU. That was quite the big thing this weekend.
Roll Tide.
That's what roll herd. I don't know. Where do you go to school? Flown in from Alabama just for the radio show on a Wednesday.
That's why you never see me.
That's got to be it.
Grades are tanking.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, I don't really know if there's anything else to note. I know the MLS playoffs. The Minnesota United is up 1-0 on the Seattle Sounders in their series. I think Game 2 is tonight.
I don't know, looking around the league. Blue Jays, Dodgers tied up at 2. I don't know if they play tonight or not.
I do not believe so, actually. I could be wrong.
They played 2 in a row at Dodgers. They got one more there.
Oh, it is today at 7.
Really? 3 in a row? Okay, well, I don't know. Tune into that if you don't give a crap. I don't know. Shouldn't say that.
If you want to also become a Canadian like Brady.
Canadian like me.
Gross.
It's
no
either
one's...
root for the Dodgers or root for Canada, Cole.
I'd
feel
rather...
like I'm on the right side.
You might be on the right side of history, but not on the right side of America.
Okay, well, we're just stalling for time.
Honestly, at this point, Sounders and the Minnesota United play on the 3rd, actually. I was wrong.
I don't tune in the Timberwolves, too. I don't know. Anything else to plug?
Yeah, but Anthony Edwards is hurt, so why would you ever do that?
Rudy Gobert.
Actually, they play the Lakers tonight. Anthony Edwards is hurt. LeBron is hurt. Luka's hurt. And...
What's the point of watching?
I want to say someone else is hurt. What'd you say?
But Bronny Jr., I think. Hurt.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
I think Mike Conley's listed as might not play, but...
Okay, well, you got the injuries.
Yeah, watch the Iowa Timberwolves play the
Crazy.
I don't know, a small city in California that doesn't have a team, so...
Okay. Well,
Anyway.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at CNB Talk Hockey. Find us on YouTube at the same link. Another great week in the books of Minnesota Wild hockey.
Yeah, I hope we actually win some games this week, but...
If we don't win a game this week, you will never hear from us again.
Yeah,
so,
we're ending this podcast.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.